Good morning, everyone. Let me just adjust that a little bit. There we go. Good morning. We are live from Houston, Texas. This is Monday, June 11th, and this is show number 40. I'm so glad you're here. Um, I forgot to mute my computer. So it was echoing in the background. It's very disconcerting. Anyway, I don't know if you noticed I kind of moved stuff around. Good morning, Cheryl. Good to see you. Earlier, I asked Cheryl if she was surrounded by little dogs because she was dog sitting. And I follow her on Instagram, and I kept seeing all these pictures of all these little dogs in her house and on the furniture and everywhere running around. So that's fun, but it sounds like everybody went home. Good morning, Kristen. I'm so happy you're here. I watched your show this morning, Kristen. It was fun to see you on the beach. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Stitching Out Loud. Nice to see you too. And good morning, Sam78. Wow, the whole gang's here. Good morning, Angela from Round Rock, Texas. Good to see you. Gosh, I hope everyone had a good weekend. I did. The big news here in Houston, at least, is it's so hot and it's so dry, and it's stressing everything out. Now I've switched to survival mode. I've stopped working on stuff. Good morning, Maxine. Good morning, Chris. Good to see you both here too. Maxine's in Texas also. Nice to see you, Texas. Yeah, so I've switched to planting or working on any of my outdoor projects, and I'm just in survival mode. So I'm keeping everything alive. Not survival for me. That's every day. No, I'm just trying to keep everything alive. The grass, the trees, the plants I have planted. It's just so hot. Good morning, Donald from Wisconsin. Good to see you. Yes, Stitching Out Loud says, thank goodness rain is coming this weekend. I saw that on the news this morning. We have just another week and we might be back in the 80s, which is normal for us right now. And we're supposed to get some rain. It looks like there's a hurricane off the Pacific coast, Hurricane Bud, which is hilarious. Hurricane Bud. And they might bring some rain relief to the southwest. So if you're in the Arizona and New Mexico area, I know you've been really hard hit with a drought. So hopefully Hurricane Bud will bring you some rain. I have a family in the Durango, Colorado, northern New Mexico area, and they've been sending me text messages with pictures of the smoke and from all the fires. So I'm hoping you get some rain up there. But those rain, not lightning though. That causes more problems. Anyway, Angela says, it's too hot here. I'm scared of what August will be like. Yes, I was thinking that too, Angela. We're having August temperatures right now. So what's it going to be like in August? But I have hope that this isn't necessarily a permanent weather pattern. Maybe it'll cool off. Maybe, this high pressure or whatever. I'm not a weather person. I watch the weather, but I don't know much about it. Maybe it'll move off into the Caribbean. Maybe it'll go away. Maybe it'll just pop and we'll just have normal weather. There's always hope. This is about the time of year when I'm thinking, how can I get out of Texas for the entire month of August? How can I go north? I understand now why snowbirds do what they do. They go north of the summertime because it's so much more pleasant than the dead south. It's so hot. Well, my weekend went well, except I didn't find a new bathing suit. I know y'all want to know about that. So I got to find one. I fell behind on some chores too, which I don't beat myself up about. I don't mind. I need to get caught up today so that the week isn't starting off too far behind. I printed out my fresh attack plan this morning. Have you done that? Do y'all have your attack plans? There's lots of people here. So if you want to know what I mean by an attack plan, there's a blog post on my website and there's a link in the show description. Anyway, my attack plan is a way to spread out your daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly chores in a way so that you get them all done. The house stays nice. You're kind of like you're juggling the balls of all the chores. But then it frees up your weekend so you can go outside. We were talking last week that I saw in the news that 93% or Americans spend 93% of their time indoors, and I don't think that's healthy. So let's clear up some time so we can go outdoors no matter how hot it is. Hydrate, go out at night. Have you ever seen that? There's people in Australia, there's a whole town that lives underground because it's so hot and they come out at night. They're like mole people. It's really kind of clever. They play golf at night. It's really kind of neat. Angela says, haha, I was just saying that. We need to head north so we can go outdoors. Yes. We need an escape plan from this heat in the pool, isn't it? I know you've seen my pool. It's really nice, but with this sun, the temperature in the water yesterday when I was in it was 93 degrees. It was 93-degree water. While it's cooler than the air, so it's a little bit refreshing, it still feels like you're in a bathtub. Don says he got caught up on watching Hallmark movies. I'm right there with you, Don. I actually watched a few of them this weekend myself, too. It's a nice respite. It's not my choice. I don't have complete control of the remote control, so I do end up watching things like Westworld on HBO, which is the literally opposite of the Hallmark Channel. If you've not seen Westworld, it's just, in my opinion, it's just gratuitous violence strung together with a very, very, very shallow storyline. Which is just like Hallmark Channel, which is feel-good feelings strung together with a very thin storyline, too. Anyway, just my opinion. I watch them both. Chris says it's been beautiful in the 70s here in Michigan, a little rainy, but lots of sun and not too hot. That sounds perfect, Chris. Maybe I'll come back to Michigan. I don't know, it gets pretty hot in August in Michigan from what I remember, but I could come up right now. Oh, somebody put a thumbs up on the video. Thank you, whoever did that. I appreciate it very much. If this is your first time at Captain Housekeeper Live, be sure to subscribe to the Captain Housekeeper YouTube channel and hit the little alert button, the little bell, ring that little bell next to subscribe, and that's how you'll be alerted when I go live. I was thinking next week of taking the week off from the live videos, but I love it so much that I think they might end up being at different times. I'm going to try to do them at 11, but I have some plans for the studio here. If you see, I've kind of moved around a little bit again, and I kind of want to make some bigger moves in the studio. You know, I've been trying to decorate the studio, and it's obviously excruciatingly slow process because I have a lot to do. But I was thinking maybe next week I would do that. But maybe what I'll do is I'll go live at different times of the day. Or it'll be at 11. We'll see. Surprise. But if you ring that notification bell after you subscribe, you'll get a little ping on your device that tells you when I go live. So Chris doesn't know what I know you don't mean that. Well, it is hot in August. Is that what you mean? I don't remember what I said. It's a phenomena. If you're ever on this side of a podcast or of a YouTube live or filming, you know, I used to be on PBS, Knit and Crochet Now, and it's the weirdest thing when they say cut, my mind goes completely blank and I don't remember anything I said. So I can look at your comments over there on my computer. It's like, I don't know what I said. Anyway. Hi, Elisa. Happy Monday. It's good to see you. I'm glad to see you. Anyway, so next week I'm going to be rearranging my studio. I'm very excited. I have some plans. I want to make it, you know, this is all just, the studio thing's just for fun. And I like to, I want to film some how-tos with the studio tweaked a little bit so it's a little more homey feeling. What's nice about filming in the studio is I can control the light and the sound. You know, like one of my very first video was how to wash dishes. It's still my most popular video. The lighting and the sound is so awful because, well, number one, I was brand new at doing this, but it's hard to light rooms if you don't have complete control of it. So anyway, Angela says, I was outside Saturday with my grandson fly fishing. Angela, that just sounds wonderful. It really, really sounds wonderful. The whole being outdoors, fly fishing. My Labradors would love to be in the river, I'm sure. There aren't any rivers around here. All we have are bayous. It's just runoff from other neighborhoods at this point. I wouldn't let my doggies in that. I know people do. I don't judge you for it, but no, I ain't doing that. I still want to make it down to Galveston because the water's still a little bit clear. That's unusual. Um, Cheryl said, I was outdoors all last week and I already miss it. Cheryl, you mean on your road trip, right? Cheryl took a road trip out to the Carolinas and back. I watched her on Instagram. It looked absolutely beautiful, and I'm sure it wasn't so hot. Um, yeah, I'd like to take a road trip really, really soon. Pack up the doggies and go somewhere. That sounds really, really nice. For now, I'm kind of here. Oh, Cheryl and I are getting together Wednesday. So if you're watching every day, Cheryl and I will be going live at 11 a.m. Wednesday from an undisclosed location to be determined. I haven't figured out where we're going yet because it's my month to choose. And you know, when I choose, I find the cheapest option possible. That's not true. That was just a coincidence that one time at IKEA. Oh, good morning. Deborah's here. Good morning, Deborah. Deborah's my sister. Full disclosure, everyone say good morning to Deborah. So glad you're here. Deborah's in Nevada. I think you guys are really dry. I think you're getting the dryness. But I don't think you're quite as hot as us. So I'm going to work on my attack plan. I'm going to catch up. I think I'm going to Tuesday morning to look for a chair for my studio because I'm sitting on a stool right now and I don't like how high I am because I feel like I'm going to fall off. So I need a chair so I can, because I have my coffee cup way over there and I have to lean forward to get it. Stitching out loud, where's Sweet Paris? It sounds like fun wherever that is. I love Paris in general. Sweet Paris sounds even better. Is that a place here in Houston, Stitching Out Loud? Let us know because I'm always looking for a new place. Oh, look, there are 15 people here. Hi, 15 people. Hey, if you're here and you want to join in the chat room and you're having trouble finding it, if you've gone full screen on your device, I believe it eliminates participating in the chat room, that option. So don't go full screen. And if you're on a phone, you have to go all the way to the bottom of the screen. There should be a little button that says chat or top chat or live chat. It depends on your device, I'm sure. They're all different. But I hope you'll look for a way to jump into the chat room because I'd love to have everyone here. It's so good to see you. And then when I get done, I'm going to try to go find a bathing suit because I can literally see through mine. Pretty soon there will be holes. It's not for public consumption anyway. It's just for me and the dogs in the backyard. So if things pop out, it doesn't matter. Angela says I grew up close to the coast. I miss going to the beach in Houston. You know, a lot of people don't realize Houston's so close to the ocean. In fact, if there's a storm, all the ocean birds will fly into the neighborhood, which is always kind of fun. It takes me 45 minutes to get to the beach from my house. Well, that's not that far, but it's also not close enough just to pop over. I always feel like I have to make a big deal out of it because 45 minutes on the freeway. I try to avoid the freeways. But yeah, Houston's right on the ocean. It's actually quite nice. Kathy's in West Texas. Keep the moisture over there. Does that mean you've been getting a lot of rain, Kath? Because we really need it. I don't like the humidity though at all. Kath says, my daughter lives in Houston now. She needed to grow gills to get through the summer of breathing in that air. You know what? You're not that far from the truth. The thing about Houston is the humidity, like right around October, we're all just waiting. And then when the humidity breaks in October, the weather is glorious from October to about April or May the next year. So there's months and months of what was like springtime weather in Michigan where I lived as a kid. So I absolutely love the wintertime here. But then when summer hits, I just stay in the air conditioning. Check. Problem solved. Yeah, humidity is really hard, especially if you have breathing issues. It really makes it hard. Oh, Stitching Out Loud says that Sweet Paris is a creperie and rice village. You know, we have the University of Rice here. And Rice Village is this really, really nice upscale area of shopping here in Houston. So I wouldn't mind checking that place out. Sounds good. I'll look it up. Anyway, so Kath, Maxine, I'm so glad you're here, but just because you're in charge of your house doesn't mean you have to do everything. Automate and delegate whenever possible. If you're curious what that means, if you're new to the show, there's a blog post on my website about automate and delegate. Be sure to check that out. I don't want you doing everything. You know, this weekend, it was interesting. I watched a show about, it was a British show. I think it's on Netflix. I'm sorry, I don't remember. I get Netflix and on demand mixed up anymore because it's the same thing now. It's all on the smart TV. But I was watching a show in England, in Britain, they did an experiment where they did like a reality show, and they went to an old manor and they set it up like it was 1911 and like in the Edwardian times, like on Downton Abbey. And they got all these modern people, you know, just people to take on the roles of everybody in this Edwardian manor. So there was, you know, the upstairs people and the downstairs people and all the different positions that they fill. And what I realized was, as the housekeeper of my house, I have to do everything. You know, I have to assume every single role. And you know, the scullery maid, which is a position they had trouble keeping filled. People kept quitting because literally a scullery maid stayed in the kitchen washing pots and pans 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. And it sounds just horrible. And of course, we don't live a lifestyle where we have to clean dishes quite that much. But I was really thinking about it, you know, as modern people that are in charge of our own homes, we actually do have to fill all those positions. We are the scullery maid all the way up to the butler, right? And so we have to find a way to balance that. And I think that when I started this whole Captain Housekeeper thing, that's what I had in mind, because I knew the housekeeper was the person who's in charge of the house. The housekeeper isn't washing the pots and pans. They're making sure that somebody does wash the pots and pans. And I think, at least in America, we've lost balance. And I think a lot of pressure is being put on one or two people to do everything in the house. And everything in the house needs to be spread over everybody. So whether you're working from home, you work outside the home, you're a homekeeper, whatever your position is in the house, we do need to spread out these, if we're going to have our home run really, really well, because it's an economic ecosystem where there's a financial part, but there's also the domestic part. So that's kind of, I realized on the scullery maid, I didn't like that at all. And that's something that I haven't delegated out. I do all the dishes in the house. And I'm not going to hire somebody to come and do my dishes, but I have to hire other people to do other things. Or have a really, really robust honey-do list for after work and on the weekends so that I'm not doing everything. So, Chris, I don't remember the name of the show. Manor House, maybe? I'm so sorry, I forgot. I should have written it down, but I'll look it up and maybe mention that on the show tomorrow if you're patient, or you can kind of look it up. Somebody else, Stitching Out Loud, said she saw the show. Do you remember the name? I don't remember the name. Manor House, yeah, see, it's called Manor House. It's either on Netflix or on demand on Comcast. I don't remember where I saw it, but I think it's Netflix. It's a fascinating, they did it as an experiment. And what's fascinating is they kind of hired people, or they cast the show with people that kind of filled those roles already. So the upstairs people, you know, the Lord and the Lady, you know, she's an emergency room doctor, I believe, and he's in finances. And so they already were like prone to living a, you know, more of an upper middle class lifestyle. And it was interesting. It's interesting. I won't spoil the show at all, but it's interesting to see how quickly the people adapt to the roles that they've been given, and the downstairs people as well. It's fascinating. And it's fascinating from the point of view that we still have to maintain our homes. They're obviously not these manors, but we still have to maintain them. Okay, well, if my sister Deborah's leaving, then I guess I'll shut the show down. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm here Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Central Time. Wednesday, I'll be with Cheryl at an undisclosed location, and I promise to make sure that the signal is strong enough. Okay, say it with me, everyone. No matter what life throws at me, I have the ability to make this a fantastic day. Okay, I love you guys so much. We'll see you tomorrow, and Have a wonderful Monday.